Okay, Guy Gronwald here for a quick market update. I just got back from the Beijing Fair in China for about 10 days, and I thought we'd just update you guys on what's going on around the fur market. Copenhagen sale is this week, and they're selling very spotty.
Maybe shipped in yesterday, maybe 20 to 30% had sold, and today they said between 10 and 20% sold, and it was cheaper than the September levels, which was already a pretty cheap price for the ranchers and for the business.
So they'll be taking a couple million mink to their next sale. It doesn't, obviously they're not going to be clearing all their skins from the sale. So that starts to put a backlog of skins for the season already. And we'll have to see what the next auction house does as far as if they sell or they don't sell. We have no idea at this time, but the ranch mink market is fairly difficult. But there is some positive news on the wild fur front. Like I said, I just got back from China, and I think maybe some of you saw my videos, although more people watch Trapper Bob than they watch me. I'm a little disappointed in that, but you probably didn't see any raccoon or very little raccoon in the fair when I was showing the videos, but there is a trend developing in China where I think we talked about this summer a little bit, where they were using raccoon for trims instead of coyote because there wasn't enough coyote, or at least the coyote was getting too expensive. And that is still the case, but in addition, they're starting to use them for liners, which helps a lot more because you use 6-7 skins a garment instead of half a skin a garment. And actually, while I was in China, I got my daughter a coat, and she'd also bring a men's coat over here. This is a men's coat, and this actually happens to have the muskrat liner with the raccoon trim.
Show them that, so you can see what your muskrats are made into. And the insides of the coats there, made into plates, put into liners.
And then this would be a woman's coat, and it's a full raccoon. Even though these are kind of bellies or poorer skins or whatever on the liner, they use the better part of the raccoon for the trim, and this uses up. So yeah, maybe you've seen a little bit better there. And a real fashionable garment. I bought this coat for $100. Which in the fur business, that's a very cheap garment.
This one was only a little over $200.
Yeah.
For this.
So these are real cheap coats, and good thing about that is price of raccoons or price of whatever they use can actually go up quite a bit before it really affects the price of the garment. So I'm getting a little out of the picture here, so the raccoon market is, as far as we're concerned, is certainly better. And production levels of raccoon this year are very small, and there is some backlog that was created over the past couple years. But some of that is being cleaned out of the market right now to go to these garment makers. And I think after the Chinese New Year, which is the 4th, 5th of February, I think there's going to be more raccoon buying develop. And maybe we won't see. Go ahead.
We want to buy raccoon.
Yeah, we want to buy raccoon. We don't know if the price is going to go up that much, but it's just to have the fact that your product is saleable, just the fact to know that we're buying a liquid skin, something that we can turn into money, definitely makes you a more aggressive buyer.
Especially the way the ranch mink market is right now.
Yeah,
it makes us feel pretty positive about being able to sell raccoon.
Yeah, because the ability to sell raccoon in this liquid of a way is fantastic in a situation where ranch mink are maybe averaging in the teens somewhere. So I think that's probably enough for raccoon. Everybody knows the coyote market is very, very strong. There's probably going to be a few less coyotes produced as well this year, and that's helping to fuel it. But more importantly, when I was in China, I'd be on a subway car. Sometimes there'd be a half a dozen people with a coyote trim garment. And it wasn't just Canada goose coats either. It was other types of garments that were trimmed in coyote. So a very popular fad, which is still popular, and the parka is popular around the world, but in particular China, and in particular with coyotes, and hopefully moving into raccoon now too. Move to the next item.
Muskrats.
Okay, muskrats. You want to talk about muskrats a little bit?
It's definitely a saleable item. The price has came up a little bit throughout the year, not crazy numbers, but it is still a short hair item, as you saw in the picture. It does.
We have some technical difficulties. Are we all right now? Okay.
Where the raccoon, where they can be used for trimming, where the trimming business is very good. The price is, in our opinion, is more likely to go up on a raccoon than a muskrat, because if muskrat get too expensive, they have so many alternatives. As ranch mink are so cheap right now, they can use those for liners instead, and it's a similar skin. But they're definitely movable. We want to buy muskrats.
Yeah, we're in the market for every
yeah.
wild fur right now. I mean, I would say wild mink and red fox would be the two most depressed items, but otherwise everything is. And as a matter of fact, beaver, hatter beaver orders have been fairly good recently, and we were we really accumulated a pile of beavers last year. We were a little bit aggressive to buy them, and we thought, wow, we've really got a lot of beavers, a big inventory. And our inventory, even on hatter beavers, has come off some recently. So we're a little more aggressive to buy on the hatters as well. So, we need some, especially the spring beavers. That's when most people trap them today. And, we'll be aggressive in that marketplace.
The caster does help with
Yeah,
that.
You're, time you harvest the beaver and sell the caster and sell the skin, it's definitely a profitable item for the trapper.
Otter?
Otter market is also better. An item that's, harvest is once again is going to be very, very small. I don't usually like to look too much at harvest. I like to look at usage. Usage is much more important in the fur business. We've touched on that before. And otters are definitely being used. I was in China, that's primary user. They're using them for hats. They're still using them for the traditional garments for the Tibetan people. And that market, I mean, it's once again, it's not crazy numbers, but it certainly, in some cases, the prices we're paying are almost 50% or 75% higher than a year ago. So that would probably be the item that's moved up already the most. The other items we mentioned, red fox and wild mink.
Very difficult.
Yeah, we haven't sold a wild mink in a couple years, and you can sell red fox, readily in China, but you have to sell them at such reduced prices that, by the time you process them and everything, it just becomes an unprofitable business. Almost no matter what price you pay, you can almost pay nothing for them, and you still can't come out on them, especially if you dress them before you sell them. Anything else you wanted to add, Bryce?
That's pretty good. Our routes, end of January here, we'll be finishing up a lot of our routes here in February. Go check out our website and see when we come. And we're open to buy fur. And like we said, a lot of the items we're more aggressive on. So
yeah, and we'll be at almost every one of our stops. Excuse me, we'll be at almost every one of our stops here in the next month. So if you can get on the internet, go check us out at gfwco.com and find out where they are. Thank you.
Thank you.